With the 1999 update coming in just a few months, I wanted to take a deeper look at the new Infested Liches, what we know and what we might be able to expect from them, and some data extrapolation. And just like this screenshot here with the Infested Liches, we also have the online boy band with 5 members as well, which if you ask me, seems a little suspicious. In one of the dev streams with DE Helen and DE Zach, I believe it was, they were dropping some hints of how the lyrics might tell us more about the liches and how they might work.
Uh-oh.
Don't never erase us.
Join us, embrace us.
Don't never
Erase us.
Surely that doesn't have any secondary meanings or anything.
I don't know
like
what you're
that.
talking about.
No, surely not.
Specifically, I pulled from the words, "Don't erase us, embrace us," and "the party of your life, time." Now, the first one, "Don't erase us, embrace us," is talking about how don't kill us, instead come join us with the infestation. And then the second one is "the part of your lifetime," seeing how instead of having a funeral, you might have a party of your life, so then you're expecting to be killed. Another one might be "coming alive under the neon glow," seeing as though that the infestation might come alive when the neon is there. So what I expect to happen is the online boy band with 5 members becomes the Infested Liches with 5 members, and that then we would attack online in at least probably the story mode, if not more. The one thing that I don't understand is with 4-member squads and a 5-member boy band, would we only be fighting 4 of the 5 members at a time, or would we have a 5th member join? It would be really funny if we had to play our Shazens against the boy band to beat them and get the weapons. I would really like that. But more for like the meat of the video now. So I wanted to go over some data extrapolation on the weapons that we might be able to expect. I looked at the Warframe history website, basically showing what weapons were used how much over the last couple of years. And unfortunately, at least for the kuva weapons, we don't have that data that far back as to what weapons were used before the kuva liches were released. Looking at the data, let's start with the tenet weapons first. Of all of the weapons that are not new, we have the Archiplasmor, Flux Rifle, Galaxion, Tetra, Cycron, Detron, Plinx, and Ferox, of which the average usage of all of them is 0.43. Now we have an outlier here of Archiplasmor at 2.42% being used, which really throws off the data, and the only reason I can assume that they would add the Archiplasmor when all of the other weapons are notably used very little is to kind of throw us a bone and give us something that they know we'll like. So if we drop the Archiplasmor, the average percentage usage of weapons drops to 0.15. All of this data was taken before the tenet weapons were released. Looking at the kuva weapons, all of these were as far as back as I could find, but they still mostly exist during the kuva weapons. Pretty similarly, all of these weapons in this list are not used that much, except for the Heck at 1.34%, which was introduced in 2021 after the original release of all of the kuva weapons, as well as the Twin Stubbas, which was also released in 2021 after the other kuva weapons. So if we get the average percent usage with no Grattler, because it wasn't in the dataset, and no Twin Stubbas and no Twin Hack, we have an average usage of 0.38307%. And with no Grattler and no Twin Stubbas, but with the Hack, we have an average usage of 0.45142. So looking between the averages of these two, dropping the outliers, we have an average of 0.38 roughly and 0.15. So we can extrapolate this data into the pre-existing data and make some guesses at what the weapons might be. Looking at some of the lowest used infested weapons, which is most of them, the average of all of these here is a usage of 0.10333%. And if we take out the cost assist and the Catable list, we have an average usage of 0.088%. This average usage fits close enough to the Tenet weapons before becoming Tenet weapons, so I don't think this is too far of a fetch. However, I would assume that they would probably release quite a few new weapons with this mix, similarly to how it was done in the past, and seeing as though this is a larger update, I would suspect that a large portion of these would be new weapons that fit this bill. So one of the things that you might want to do is, if you really think this information is helpful, is go buy Rivens for this stuff because they might skyrocket in price. And if not, they're probably just going to keep their value in the first place.